For anyone who might not be familiar with Hinds Hospice, here is a short and historical perspective. In 1981, Nancy began her hospice service in Fresno out of her own home. Now, 31 years later, Hinds Hospice has served 15,000 patients in either a residential Fresno home, their own homes, or in skilled nursing homes in Fresno, Merced, and Madera counties. There are other well-serving hospice organizations for the terminally ill in our area. Unique to Hinds Hospice is the residential home mentioned, the 13 months of support and guidance offered through difficult times to families through the Center for Grief and Healing, the Angels Baby program that serves families facing or coping with a baby lost in pregnancy or infancy, physician training for medical students with hands-on training in end-of-life care, and the training of inmates at the Chowchilla facility for women so they can provide care and support to fellow inmates dying in prison.
So I had my first mission in the West Indies, and that was a rude awakening. To be on a small island and see the poverty on one side and see the Hilton hotels on the other. And it was, you know, I couldn't compute in my head how this could happen, but it was a lesson to be learned. But the other lesson that I learned is that I could be away from home, and that I didn't have any other ulterior motive of going into the mission but a desire to help people. I was placed in a mission setting in Nigeria where the war had already gone through, and it was the huge devastation. There was nothing. There was no food. There was no medicine. The hospital had been looted of all the supplies that they had, and we were just faced with starvation, you know, like I'd never seen before. And, you know, I think of all of us when we think, oh, we're starving when we've missed a meal. And to see the pain of starvation, it's unbelievable. And to see the mothers who didn't have milk, you know, to feed their children, and the children were dying, and they were just there watching that happen. And the sacredness of life that I felt in my heart, and then I saw what was happening to people, it was just so, it just had to bring me back to God to say, where's the hope for these people? And what difference can I make? One person in this field, I mean, we would see 1,000 people at a time trying to feed them, and they came with their banana leaves, and we would put dried milk in their banana leaf and hope that the water that they were mixing the milk in would not give them diarrhea and cause further starvation. And then they sent me over into the bush, and here's this Irish physician that has been there for 21 years working with the Medical Missionaries of Mary, and that's where I first met them. And I was privileged to work with him and go out to the bush clinics with him, and a man of God for sure. And somehow our hearts melded, and then there was the rest of the story. So anyway, I found the home on Simpson, and I went to the door. It was for sale by owner, and I knocked on the door, and it was just a bigger house than what I had, and our home was too small for what I was trying to do. And Harriet Ray opened the door and invited me in, and I said, you know, I really love this home. And I said, could I just look at it? And she said, well, certainly come in. And I said, I really am looking for a larger home to care for the patients. And she invited me in, and as she did, they had 8 children. so this house was big enough for us and for our, and on the wall with all these trophies from her children was this picture of a priest, and it was Father Desmond McGlade, and Father Des was one of my husband's best friends in Ireland. And he evidently had been in Fresno doing what they call a locum for the local priests when they were on vacation or absent for a certain time. They brought priests from Ireland to man the parish. And Father Des happened to be one of those priests, and there he was on the wall. So I just kind of felt it was a message from my husband that maybe this is the home that we're supposed to have. And they're so faith-filled that I don't have any worry at all about, you know, our mission going forward, none whatsoever. And as far as what plan he has for me, I know that at some moment I'm going to feel this, and I'll know which way I'm supposed to go, because that's the way he does it with me.
You're planning, though, to kind of get a little more involved with the medical missionaries of Mary? Is that one of the ideas?
Yes, yes. I admire their work so much. These are, you know, physicians and surgeons and nurse midwives and pharmacists and that have been out in the missions for 40, 50 years. And they need our support. And I have to say that I'm in constant turmoil with what we have and what they don't have, the haves and the have-nots. And I just, and it's not, I know there's not a right and a wrong in it. I'm not saying that. But I can't live my life not focusing on those that have less than we have. I just wanted to care for people at the end of their life and know that they are respected and that death can be gentle for them. And that was it. It's just really, really simple. But it's grown because as we've taken care of people, we've seen the needs out there. People have brought forward their needs. And I knew when I lost the baby, too, that there was a reason for that there needs to be support, you know, for moms and dads when there's a loss of an infant. And so the angel babies kind of come to light with that. And the prison, you know, that's just... I know there's a merciful God, and I can't tell you the joy I have working with the inmates. And, you know, my sons are kind of funny. The one day they had some of the inmates' pictures in the paper. You know, and I never know what their crimes are. Don't go there. That's not my business. But evidently they both were up for murder, and their pictures were in the paper. And they go, "Mom, your friends are in the paper." Anyway, so it has become what it is because the need out there has been there. And I just agree so much with you, Randy, with it's all of us that have to make that change that we want to see in the world. Each of us can make that, take that one step that will make it better for someone. And pretty soon, you just have something that's out of control in a wonderful way.